You know, when I was a kid, I remember sitting in church, and one of the things that probably drove my dad, as who was a preacher, crazy, was all of us kids grabbing the bulletin right away, grabbing a pencil right away, and you know it, coloring in all the zeros, all the O's, all the zeros. I have in front of me here, let me step and grab the latest copy of The Steeple, and was mentioned earlier. And I hope that you'll take one. Now, what I hope that you won't do is spend the sermon time coloring in all the zeros, because you would never get through with all the zeros in here by the time the sermon was over. But you don't want to miss out on all the incredible information that you can find in that publication. Thanks to well, let me just say, my name is David Grout. I'm one of the retired pastors here at Trinity Church. There's several of us. And let's hear it for Florida retirement. And I see that hand. I hear that clap. Yes, yes, yes. Appreciate Pastor Robert giving me the opportunity to be the preacher of the day today. And blessings on him. Jessica, Hardin, Evelyn is there visiting family, I believe in Virginia. I'm not totally sure I'm saying that right. Back a while ago, I was at a birthday celebration. And in the midst of all the candles and the wings and everything else that was going on, suddenly had a thought, a profound thought, or at least interesting thought to me. It struck me. You get to celebrate your birthday on a certain day, but you are that age all year long. For some of you, that was just like, you aren't just whatever your new age is for only one day. No, you are that age for an entire year. And then you get to celebrate it all over again next year. That was a Thanksgiving revelation to me. Do you get it? I know some of you are in total awe of the deep thoughts that roam around in my head, but just try to keep up. If I was to ask you, when is Thanksgiving Day, you would answer, well, this year it's Thursday, November 27th, or the fourth Thursday of November, but you already know what I'm about to say next. Sure, there's a certain day we call Thanksgiving Day, and I'm glad that there was a woman named Sarah Josepha Hale, who started pushing for a national holiday back in 1827, though it wasn't until President Lincoln in 1863 that it actually became a day of Thanksgiving, official day, National Day of Thanksgiving, on the final Thursday of November. Well, Franklin Roosevelt made it officially the fourth Thursday in 1939. Now, that is not what you were thinking. You were thinking, sure, there is a certain day we call Thanksgiving Day, but we're to be thankful every day, all year, as we make our way toward the official Thanksgiving Day. I wanted to think for a moment about all the reasons we have to be thankful. What are the circumstances that make us thankful? Who needs to be the focus of our Thanksgiving? And if I was to take a moment and just kind of pass the mic around, we could all list many reasons for being thankful. In fact, you would probably preach my entire sermon with your sharing. So we are not going to pass the microphone around. But I am going to ask you to please take out the little handout that was in your bulletin that you received today. I hope everybody got one. Ushers, if there's someone that might raise their hand and say, I need one, please grab some and be ready. And you might want to grab the hymnal that's in the little rack right in front of you down below, just to have a solid place to write. I'm going to be asking you to write all through the sermon. One Thursday a year is Thanksgiving Day, but every day gives us reasons to be thankful. So I thought I would draw attention to several of those reasons and offer us a template to help us focus our Thanksgiving. Today's message is not one of those times when I'm trying to shed new light or to explain a certain passage or to share a new theological insight. Can I be honest? I think we are all in agreement with the whole give thanks idea. So let's share some ideas of how to be more intentional about it. You'll see the different days of the week. I want to suggest a topic for each of those days. You will come up with many more topics and may decide to assign them to one of these specific days. Sorry, there's only 7 to choose from. I want you to be thinking of all the reasons you have to be thankful every day as we're leading up to Thanksgiving Day. So let's begin with Monday. I want to suggest the obvious reason to give thanks, and it is for all the blessings in your life. Would you please just write the word blessings on the line next to Monday? Psalm 100 calls us, shout with joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him singing with joy. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Go into his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. For the Lord is good. His unfailing love continues forever, and his faithfulness continues to each generation. What a great way to begin every week. As you're getting ready to go to work or you're getting ready to go to school, to simply pause and thank God for all the blessings in your life. You know, you may or may not realize it, but you've given into it at times. Oh, no, it's Monday. Here we go again, back to work, back to school. There's actually a thing called Monday syndrome. Hey, remind yourself, God made it all. 1 Chronicles 29, 10 and 11 say, Then David praised the Lord in the presence of the whole assembly. O Lord, the God of our ancestor Israel, may you be praised forever and ever. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness, the power, the glory, the victory, and the majesty. Everything in the heavens and on earth is yours. O Lord, this is your kingdom. We adore you as the one who is over all things. You know, everything in our lives is under God's control. James 1:17 tells us that every perfect gift comes from the Lord. So on Monday, remind yourself that if you have any blessings in your life, and I know that you do, it is from God. But let me also say, if you have the strength to face what you know is going to be a tough week, that strength is also from God. We'll talk a bit more about that on Wednesday. So let's go to Tuesday. I want you to write on the line next to Tuesday the word friends. Friends. Would you write that down? We all have friends who are part of the different circles of our lives. Some of those friends actually overlap with other of our friends. Some do not. I think it's a good idea to recognize that we have different friends in the different areas of our lives. So I give thanks to God for those friends who are in ministry with me, those that are active still, those like myself that are now retired. Back a while ago, I had a surgical procedure, and just out of the woodwork came phone calls, emails, checking in on you. How you doing? How's things going? And I can only say I was so thankful for my friends. But each of us have many friends who are part of other parts of our lives. Proverbs 17:17 says that a friend loves at all times. Proverbs 27:6 says that faithful are hear this word, wounds of a friend. The words that need to be spoken. Wow, thank you for saying that. Who are those people in your life that are those kinds of friends? When is the last time you gave God thanks for them being in your life? Tuesday is also a great day to thank God that Jesus is our very best friend. Jesus is closer than a brother. John 15 told the disciples, I no longer call you servants, but I call you friends. Wow. That's a powerful reason to be thankful today. Got to move on. What about Wednesday? This is going to be a challenging thought for some of you, perhaps, but I want to invite us to spend time giving thanks for the trials in our lives. Please write the word trials on the line next to Wednesday. Are you saying we're to celebrate Thanksgiving even in the tough times? No. I'm saying we're to be thankful especially in the tough times. This is sort of one of those cart-horse issues. You know what I mean. We have to be sure that we don't get the cart in front of the horse in the issue of giving thanks. Because you see, the horse is our giving thanks. The cart is all the reasons. And the only way the cart keeps moving forward is if the horse, which is our thankful response to God, stays out in front, not dependent on whether everything is going well back in the cart or not. You remember Daniel's story in the Bible, Daniel chapter 6. We read that the king declared that no one could pray to anything or anyone other than him, or they would be thrown into a lion's den. You remember the story. What did Daniel do when this serious test, this serious trial of his faith came along? He went to the window of his house, threw it open, prayed facing Jerusalem 3 times a day. He prayed and gave thanks to God as he had always done. James tells us to count it all joy when we face various trials. You heard it, not if we face various trials, but when we face them. 2 Corinthians reminds us that there is a reason why you are going through tough times. And one of the reasons may be so that you can help someone else when it is their turn to go through what you have already been through. Let me move on to Thursday. Well, this week, this is going to be easy. At least for many of us, we'll have the opportunity to be with family. So please, write the word family on the line next to Thursday. I heard it the other day on the news. You probably heard it too. The busiest travel day of the year is Thanksgiving Day. And the second most busy day of the year is the day after. We'll be on the road. Maybe you'll be on the road. Be careful as you're out there. You're out there with 8 million others out there. Not all of us will get to be with family. And for some of us, family is just too far. It's just too far away to get there and back in any reasonable time. And I am aware, hear me when I say, I am aware that for some, it's been a long time since you were with family. And quite honestly, those relationships are strained or tense for various reasons. Let me simply invite us all, no matter what our family situation is, to give God thanks for our families. The simple truth is, if it weren't for family, you wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here. And some of you just went, wow, that preacher really does swim in deep water. Psalm 127 reminds us, children are a gift from the Lord. The first several chapters of Proverbs are all about the role of parents and their children. And can I tell you, I am not calling us to only be thankful for perfect families or perfect parents, because if that was the case, none of us would have a reason to give thanks. No, we're to give thanks in all things. Some of our family situations may be tough. Go back to Wednesday. Give God thanks for family. Friday, let's move on. Friday is a day I want to suggest is a great day to give thanks for salvation. Please write that word, salvation, on the line next to Friday. Why Friday? Well, it's the beginning of the weekend. It's a time when you get to unwind a little bit. It also may be the time when you face a new set of temptations that come your way. I think Friday is a great day to pause, remember, and give thanks for all that Jesus did to accomplish our salvation. Can I say every Friday is a good day to remember Good Friday? Let me say that again. Every day is a good day to remember Good Friday. Be thankful. Be watchful. Psalm 124 reminds us, had it not been for the Lord on our side, they would have swallowed us up alive. I think it'd be a good habit to recite to yourself every Friday, if not more often, the verse John 3:16. So let me invite us. Let's just say it all together. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him might not perish, but have eternal life. Okay, what about Saturday? This might surprise you, but I want you to write down the word church on the line next to Saturday. And I hope that you are genuinely thankful for your church. I also hope you are thankful for the church capital C, worldwide church, all around the world, because the truth of the matter is we are growing and exciting things are happening here, but we are part of something that is so much bigger than just us. And I hope that is exciting to you. I also know that for some of you here today, your church family is actually closer to you than your biological family. And that may just be simple geography. But for some of your closest friends are your church friends. And I think that is fantastic. I love it when we are church to and church for each other. I know we need to ask for forgiveness for those times when we have failed to be the church for one another. St. Paul, writing in Ephesians, says he heard of their faith and witness and is thankful that they are a church. He then goes on to pray for the church. Let me ask, when is the last time you prayed for your church? Let me tell you, as a pastor, now retired, but still a pastor, and on behalf of all the staff of this, your church, we need you. We need you to be praying for us. Let me invite you to spend some time thinking about why you are thankful to be part of Trinity Church. And not just think about it, write it down. Put some things on that paper. Remember to give God thanks for your church. But why Saturday and not Sunday to be thankful for church? Well, I think we all need to be thinking about going to church on Saturday and not just on Sunday. It's too easy to forget to set an alarm and not have all your clothes ready, or to have your head and your heart going in a million different directions on Sunday because you let Saturday come and go without making any plans about church on Sunday. And for those of you families that have kids, I don't need to say more. Never mind. Okay, let's talk about Sunday. Please write the word worship on the line next to Sunday. My former churches heard me say all the time, there is such a difference between I got to go to church and I get to go to church. Psalm 122 begins by saying, I was glad when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. On Sundays, we gather together to give thanks and to remind ourselves of all that God has done and is doing in our lives. For most of us, we don't see each other from one Sunday to the next Sunday. How will we know what is going on in our lives if we don't gather to worship and praise God? Psalm 95. Oh, come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our God, our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the sheep of his hand. In 1 Thessalonians 5, we're reminded, rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks. That's what worship is all about, rejoicing, praying, giving thanks. And I hope that when we gather on Sundays, we are doing those things. But the fact is that what we do on Sundays is simply the foundation for what we have been talking about doing all the other days of the week. Sure, there's one day a week that we set aside to worship, but worship should define who and what we are and what we do every day, all the time, everywhere. At the end of the handout, I simply put the prompting, Thanksgiving is, and you fill in the blank. Let me invite you to keep working on this sermon in the days and weeks ahead. You see some other scriptures, if you have good eyesight, you see some other scriptures that are there to reflect on. Just see what the Lord might say to you as you turn this sermon into daily action, and as you turn a single day of celebration into a lifestyle each and every day. Friends, let's pray together.